Welcome to Behind the Model, a show diving into the virtual world and exploring its stories with the VTubers who lead the way. VTubing and art go hand in hand for Twee. After all, it's kind of handy being able to draw your own character and things like that. But what isn't necessarily seen is how the two mediums can feed into each other paradoxically, allowing her to take her passion of art and turning it into a career. With the art world forever changing, Twee has seen many ebbs and flows over time, but has always managed to stay ahead of the curve. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Twee, welcome to Behind the Model.
Hi, thanks for having me, and also thanks for saying I'm staying ahead of the curve. Like,
does it always feel like you're falling behind?
Yeah, you know, ebbs and flows, but I don't know, we'll see.
Look, that's just what like art feels like, especially with VTubing coming along and kind of just like completely changing the game, especially in the anime art space.
Yeah, I feel like VTubing's like created a lot of jobs.
Yeah. Well, yours is, I guess, semi-testament, not like entirely testament to that, but semi a little bit, yeah.
It's boosted the economy, it's great.
Well, I think that's a very wonderful point to kind of start off the chat. This is a very art-centric discussion because there's a lot of art, a lot of very cool stories. But I want you to tell me about the very vivid memory that got you into art.
Okay, so when Twee was only maybe like 12 years old or something, I don't know why I started talking in third person, but when I was around 12 years old or something, I remember I went to a family friend's house and I just went into his room, and he was a bit older, so he was like more capable than me or whatever. And I remember seeing a really gorgeous picture of like an anime girl holding a bird, and it's like still so vivid in my mind, and I was like, oh my god, that shit looks so cool. And then I remember going home and trying to replicate it, and you know, back then I had no taste, so I thought what I drew was amazing. And then, like, you know, your parents always hype you up and your friends hype you up as well. They're like, oh shit, that looks so great. And I think that's what started my interest in art. I mean, I liked it before, but that's when I started, I guess, like scribbling in all of my notebooks and stuff like that. But yeah.
Did you ever have like a creative spark before then?
I mean, that was when I was a kid, so besides like making pasta art and shit like that and collages, I don't know, I can't remember anything before that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was like 12 is like, you know, like you could like, I was like, maybe not, who knows?
No, I wasn't a child genius, I'm sorry.
Ugh, terrible, why do I have you here? But I guess like from there and scribbling in all those notebooks, what kind of joy did art give you? Like what kind of feelings did that painting evoke that then you saw in your own art?
I don't know if this exactly answers the question, but I was never like really that good at anything before that, or like had an interest in anything before that. Like my mom used to always force me to play a bunch of instruments. I hated it. I used to do, I don't know, kung fu and stuff. I hated it. Ballet, tap dancing, I was okay at it, but I didn't like it. But then art was like finally something that I both enjoyed, and I guess I was slightly better than the people around me. And so it was kind of like the first time I could attach something to me that gave me self-confidence, I guess. Like I was actually good at something.
That's a quite an empowering thing at the end of the day when it's like, hey, I can do this and I'm okay at it.
Yeah, like sometimes I think about like if I didn't have art or anything, I'm like, shit, like I'm not good at anything, man. Like, geez, why am I here?
I'm sure you could find something. It's always learned skills and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. Skills are learned, yeah, not just bestowed upon you by God.
I mean, as an artist, you would probably know that more than anyone, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I will say that I probably don't practice things as much as other artists. Like, you know, some people do studies and things like that, which I really respect that dedication. I'm kind of lazy, I'm not gonna lie.
But like, it's still like the whole thing. You can look back at your portfolio and be like, oh, that's what I used to draw.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I started drawing emotes like 3 years ago, which is when I started kind of like VTubing as well. So if you want to look at that as a timeline. I started drawing emotes for myself first when my channel first came about, and I looked back at those emotes the other day and I'm like, oh my god, I used to draw like that. That's so embarrassing. and now I feel so grateful that so many people have, you know, trusted me along the way, and because of that I've been able to do commissions, and in doing so like get practice and get better. So I'm really, really grateful for people who've like allowed me to do this as a job. And so I can improve. Otherwise, like let's just say I was back at my day job before VTubing, like I wouldn't have had as much opportunity to practice. So yeah, I'm always really grateful for those people. Thank you.
You brought up like the VTubing side, and I want to talk a little bit about the streaming element. Because the first time you told me about how you got into streaming, you kind of shocked me a little bit.
Is this the iPad thing?
This is definitely the iPad thing.
Yeah, so when I graduated university, I got like an iPad from my mom. It was my graduation gift, which I'm very grateful for. But prior to that, I did do digital art, but I was using like a non-display tablet, which was also very good. Like I was able to get a lot of art done back then, but I had always wanted to have something I could work with on the go. And after university, I got like mad depressed for some reason. And I kind of didn't want to do anything at all. And back then, art was my only passion. But then like, because of like this depressive episode, I found that like for a while, I didn't even want to do art at all. So like there was like pretty much, I was doing nothing.
Yep.
And so I was like, hey, maybe I should start streaming. And so I had like a couple of friends who, you know, they had been kind of supportive behind the scenes with my art. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just stream like via the iPad to them. And then so I would stream on Twitch using only my iPad, because back then I didn't have a PC or anything. I didn't even know what OBS was. Like, I don't know what that is. And so I was streaming, like screen sharing, just my screen. And I remember this was so bootleg, but I used to have my phone on the side and it would play like Spotify music.
Oh my god.
On the side, and then like the mic on my iPad would capture it.
My god. This
like,
is so scuff.
I didn't know what a copyright strike was. Anyway.
Think of the audio quality as well of that just coming through like an iPad mic.
Yeah, like good thing those VODs are long gone, because I also didn't know that like the VODs would disappear. Anyway.
I think you're grateful for that now.
Yeah, thank God, man. Yeah, I think back then I used to like probably accidentally dox myself a lot too, because as I said, I was like with my IRL friends back then, like they were the people who were supporting me. And then so they probably probably should have said some things that I shouldn't have said back then. But after that, I was seeing my friend Twin stream as a VTuber, and Twin is someone that I knew prior to VTubing, and I was kind of really surprised that like a normal citizen could do that, because prior to that I had only seen Kizuna Ai. Like she was pretty much the only VTuber I knew at the time. And then I always imagined that people like Kizuna Ai had like a huge production behind them, and they had like in the movie behind the scenes, you know how there's like people with like dots all over their faces that gets tracked by camera and like motion sensor stuff. So I always thought it was like a huge production kind of thing. And when I saw like my friend Twin do it, I was like, wait, she's just a normal person and she's able to do this kind of stuff. And then so I asked her, I was like, hey, how did you do this? And then like she was so kind to tell me about what was it, Vroid. And so I made my own really shitty model back then. And back then I didn't even have a webcam, because it was kind of the beginning of COVID and everyone was buying all of the webcams. And so I had my V-Road model that pretty much only tracked my mouse when my face moved around. What mic did I have? I can't even remember how I... Oh, my friends gave me like a secondhand mic, like a Snowball that he's had for 6 years.
Yep. The old reliable blue like Yeti or the blue Snowballs.
Yeah,
that, like, every streamer has at least once.
Yeah. It's like a rite of passage, huh?
Yeah, it definitely is.
And then after that, like those same friends that I said were supporting me from when I was streaming via my iPad, they were so kind and bought me a webcam for like my birthday present one year. And then so I was able to finally move around with like minimal face and head tracking, and it was great. And I guess like over time I just kind of kept updating my model to make it look less shitty. And I commissioned Twin Tails to help me fix my V-Road hair because my V-Road hair was a mess. And then from there I was using the V-Road model for a while, but then, you know, I kind of got FOMO from everyone all having like live 2D models. So I drew my own model and I commissioned my friend Twin to rig it for me, and she did such an amazing job. I'm very thankful for the hard work that she put in. And here we are.
Well,
a very interview with Ducky.
Yeah, obviously the most important bit, right? My favorite part is like going from iPad to PC and just having like no general knowledge of like what the hell you were doing.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. I remember my mods. I have this mod Shiki, who has been with me since the beginning. He's always really supportive. But I remember him saying something like, "Oh, once you hit 500 followers, or 500, 100, I forgot the number." But he was like, "Once you hit 500 followers, you have to make a Discord." And I'm like, "What's a Discord?" What do you mean a Discord? And then like they tried explaining it to me, and I'm like, "Isn't that just like a group chat, but with like lots of group chats inside the group chat?" Like Sis was having trouble, and then like another one of my mods was so kind and helped me like build the Discord for me. So I'm always really grateful for like all of those things that happened in the beginning when I was really clueless. People have been like so kind to guide me, because before all of the streaming stuff, I like was like a Facebook user, man. Look, I'm not old. I'm not old, okay? But like I was a Facebook user. I used no other social media pretty much. So I didn't know.
You will never beat the boomer allegations with a statement like that. You will never beat them.
Please, now I only use it for Messenger, okay? Just to keep track of IRL friends. No, I don't use it for anything else, okay?
That's good. I guess that's like the beg for forgiveness kind of vibe there.
I've changed.
I mean, welcome to the 21st century. Finally.
Thank you.
Well, I guess 2023 is probably more apt because Facebook was also 21st century just like two decades ago, or a decade and a half.
You guys are just moving on too quickly.
Yeah. What did you kind of notice in your arts that kind of changed when you started streaming?
Damn. Okay, let me think. If we're talking specifically about art and streaming, like the art that I do on stream, I don't do any but besides being an art streamer, I actually do minimal art on stream, because what happens is my streams turn into glorified chatting channels with like a little crumb of art in the background, because I end up like talking to my chat too much and getting mad distracted. I know a lot of fellow art streamers probably can relate. You know, it's like you know how like there's like Subway Surfers, like you know how there's like memes where they put like Subway Surfers on the side just to keep chat entertained.
Yep.
And stuff like that. That's like my streams where it's just like just chatting, but in the background there's just a little something. You know,
a little bit of extra eye candy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just so like, you know, if the conversation runs stale, someone might ask me something about my art and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is what I do, blah blah blah." So yeah, art streamer, but I barely stream art.
I mean, it's in the background.
It's in the background. Yeah.
It's better than like most people using the category on Twitch sometimes. Like, you know, you can take that.
Okay, thank you.
But I guess like, did it give you like a little bit more purpose to like practice different things or try different things or like share your processes? Like, did it change the way that you did art? Even like off stream as well.
Changed the way that I did art. I guess because I do a lot of commissions now, and they're mainly emo commissions, right? I've kind of worked out like a step-by-step process to do emotes, because for the longest time I kind of like, even now with my illustrations, they look like they're drawn by like 10 different people because I don't have like a set style of my illustrations, which is something I really struggle with, having a, I guess, like an iconic art style. And being able to practice working on so many emotes has allowed me to actually form an art style, because for the longest time I was like feeling really sad that no one would recognize my art and my style. But now with my emotes, you can actually tell that it's mine because I've developed this kind of step-by-step process of how I do them, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I guess that's like pretty big for building a brand for yourself, right? And trying to turn this into a career.
Yeah. Because I guess like back then, like even now, I'm kind of a bit hesitant to do like a full illustration commission, because I'm worried that, you know, someone might sign up for a particular style, but then I might draw it in another style. But it's not because I don't want to draw it in that style. It's just like I'm kind of bad at sticking to one art style. So yeah, with emo commissions, like if you commission one style, like you're gonna get what you get, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, get what you ask for. Yeah, get what you get.
Get what you get. Just give me your money.
Deal with
I no guarantee of quality at the end of the product. Just give me your money and I'll give you something.
Yeah. Just trust me.
Trust me, bro. Literally Skeb. But there you go. Twee Skeb emote commissions coming out.
Yeah.
You get what you get. Yeah. What about the community aspect of things as well? Because being an artist, I suspect a lot of the interaction that you get on maybe like Twitter or Instagram is like very focused around your art content, but in streaming it brings a bit of the personality into the foray, right?
Like, okay, I have to be real with you, man. I really don't use my Instagram and Twitter that often to post art. I mean, I do, but like I use that, like, okay, I barely use my Instagram because I'm kind of bad at keeping up with social media. It kind of stresses me out, and so I just like stick to Twitter. But on Twitter, even like I just like always posting about my day, and then every now and then there's some art, but
Yeah.
just posting random thoughts and stuff. But I think like streaming does help me get more commissions because they, like, I guess they kind of can understand that there's an actual person behind it, and I guess like they, like, maybe this is a bad way to put it, but like I have a reputation to withhold. So people won't, like, so people are more trustworthy of me, more trusting of me, if that makes sense. Because like imagine someone, like, it's kind of like commissioning someone with zero, like a brand new Twitter account with 0 following, and they just made the account like 2 hours ago. It's like a bit like sus, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you commission someone who has like worked hard to build their reputation, has like past customers that can vouch for you, you know, has streams so you can kind of see their character, I guess. I guess that helps me get more commissions because they like worry less that I'm just gonna, like, I don't know, scam them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about on like the personal level, like being able to find, I guess, like a community and people to interact with, from going from those couple of IRL friends to quite a few number of people online?
Oh yeah. I'm actually like thinking about it is like so mind-blowing, because I really didn't start streaming to get famous or anything, I guess. I mean, I'm famous now, but like, you get what I mean? Like
Yeah. You didn't come into this thinking it would be your career.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Like, I forgot if I said this before, but Like when I first started streaming, I didn't even know there was like a VTubing community. Like I know nowadays people prepare full debuts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back when I started with my V-Roid model, I never like even knew that was kind of a thing, and I was so I guess so like lucky that even though I didn't really know the culture and things, like people were really kind. And so like let's just start off with like other VTubers. Like other VTubers were really kind and were you know, offering me advice in terms of like how to use OBS and things like that. You know, like more established VTubers at the time were like acknowledging me, I guess. That was really important to me at the time, because I'm like, me, I'm just a nobody, you know. and I guess like over time, organically, a lot of random people join the chat, and then they became regulars. And you know, people come and go, but I'm always grateful about the quality of the people that I have in my chat, because I find that, okay, like I've been streaming for 3 years, right? So I've had my like ups and downs in viewership and whatnot, but I always remember that, I guess like success as a streamer in terms of like viewership or whatever is not just like quantity, it's also quality. Because you know, you could probably have like, I don't know, like a 500 viewer average, but then your chat might be full of like dumb kids who are just like spamming dumb shit, you know, like being rude and stuff like that. But you know, over the years, even in like more higher viewership times and lower viewership times, my chat has, number one, usually been like like pretty active, I think, which is really important to me. You know, of course, if they're not chatting, it's like it's totally fine and stuff as well, because yeah, I've come to understand, you know, there's quiet moments and there's more hype moments. But I feel so appreciative that people would actually put down their things to actually talk to me. Of course, I appreciate lurkers as well, but the fact that people would like drop things just to talk to me, that's so special to me. And I haven't told you this before, or I don't know if you already know, but I actually like ban heaps of people in my stream.
Why?
It's like a joke in my chat that every stream I ban 3 people. At least. Because it's just a vibe thing, you know? Like if you keep your chat full of nice people, or like people who vibe with you or share the same kind of like, you know, I don't know about positive, just the
same energy.
Not freaking weird energy.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, not freaking weird energy. Like just like normal ass people who can have a good conversation with you.
Yep.
If you like have those people in your chat, it will you know, attract more of that type of people. And in the same way, if you have like people who are freaking weird or like just make you uncomfortable, those nice people who you would probably vibe with will no longer want to talk in your chat because they're weirded out by this random guy who keeps saying I love you to you. You know, that's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll also like attract other weirdos who like don't know boundaries and stuff. So I actually I ban a lot of people just based off their vibe if they make me even the slightest bit uncomfortable, or like even if they don't have any ill intention, if they weird me out, like, oh Twee, I love you so much, like, and it's their first message and it's just like like this person obviously you know obviously is in the future may cause issues. And you know, most of the time most of the time these people don't have bad intentions. I wish them the best in the future in another stream, but my stream isn't the stream to learn that, you know. Like it's not a practice run in my stream, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so in doing that, I'm very proud of like the community that I've curated, because it's full of people who like understand my vibe and like not weird ass people, you know, who make me uncomfortable. Yeah.
Did streaming, I guess, like allow you to also build that community kind of like independently and really make it your own and make it something that you can point to and see like I accomplished that?
Well, I guess this is like a little bit cringe to say, but I'm pretty proud that like of course people have helped me in terms of like helping me like learn the ropes of VTubing and stuff, and I get inspired by people all the time. But I'm pretty proud that I haven't had to, you know, mooch off anyone in terms of their success. I think I pretty much built what I have on my own, because I have like really bad imposter syndrome. So like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I leached off someone. Like how, like, you know, like even now, even though I've like done everything by myself almost, like I already feel imposter syndrome. So, you know, how bad would it be if I like, I don't know, rode off the coattail of someone?
Yeah. I guess like a
So,
lot of like,
yeah.
not to play cynic here, but like a lot of people would point and be like, oh my god, she's rigged by twin tails.
Well, yeah, you know, someone actually has said that. And
Oh
then,
my
like, they were
god,
like,
I'm not surprised.
yeah. Look, a little tiny bit of tea, which is totally fine to leave in, but someone has said that, and then they were like, oh, like they're just like pretending to be friends with Twin, and I'm just like, dude, I've known her like longer than VTubing, you know. So that was kind of really silly on their part.
Does streaming allow you to pursue art full time? Like without, okay, let me phrase it this way. Without streaming, do you think you could do art full time or in the way that you currently do it?
Oh, definitely not. It's because like, there's so many artists now that you kind of get lost in a big pool, and with streaming, I find that, well, obviously as a VTuber, I appeal to a certain niche. Like I'm there's no way I'm not famous or anything, but I think I'm relatively well-ish known as an emo artist in the VTubing community. So people, you know, people often in the community commission me, which I'm very grateful for. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if there wasn't like this niche, because otherwise it's a bit, you know, like it's too broad. Like they would never find me if they didn't know me as a streamer already, I think. Yeah.
I guess in that way, has VTubing kind of changed the way digital art is perceived by people or like received by people?
Digital art is perceived or received by people. Sorry, can you say that in a different way?
Yeah, sure. So I guess like,
Thank you.
has VTubing kind of changed the way like people see art, or like people approach art online, especially in like the anime space, kind of broadly, in the anime art style broadly? It's gone from people just being like, oh, I like this kind of artist on Twitter, I'll like and retweet their posts, but there's not really a massive community behind them, versus VTubing now, where you've got people bringing their original characters to life, there's a community built around them as a person, as well as their character designs, etc., and kind of change the way that people not only see like character designing, but also like art in and of itself and art online.
I think it has its positive effects and its negative effects. Like, I guess one of the positive effects is now people can have like an outlet for their own personal creative creations. Okay, that was a stupid sentence, but like for example, if you were to sell art as an artist, an anime artist, most of the time, unless you're like really, really good, you'd probably be selling art based off like a franchise or something. Like, I don't know, pictures of Naruto or Gintama or I don't know, Sebastian from Black Butler.
You are really showing your age with those three examples right now.
Shit, I mean, Spy Family and Jujutsu Kaisen. What else is new, guys?
That was the biggest display of age I've ever heard in an interview of like, oh, let's go back to Black Butler.
Those, I don't know, I heard of the anime from my grandma. I don't know what it is though. Yeah, but sorry, back to what I was saying.
Yeah, continue.
Like a lot of artists would probably only be able to sell the art because people buy the art because they love the character rather than the art of the artist itself. If that makes sense. Like, of course, the art has to be good to an extent, but it's very rare that people would buy art of maybe like an original character, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool that because of VTubing, people are interested in like an original character art that is not attached to a franchise. Like that was a very important moment for me, at least, when I realized people started caring about like my original creation. Because sometimes I think as an anime artist, you kind of think like, you know, you're like low-key mooching off the success of, like, I don't know, like if you drew a picture of Gojo, you know, people aren't like, well, maybe people don't like my art of Gojo, they just like Gojo, you know?
Yeah.
It's like not them necessarily liking your stuff as an artist. And so to like something that's completely originally yours is like really special. And on the negative side, I will say like there's cool character designs definitely in the VTubing sphere, but like VTubing has also kind of like destroyed character design in the same way I think Genshin sometimes has. Like I think some people just they just put on whatever. I mean, of course, all power to them because like they can do whatever the heck they want, right? But I think in terms of what's it called, intentional character design, it's not. It's harder to come by nowadays because of what VTubing and Genshin has done.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Which is fine because people can have freedom to do whatever the hell they want with their own individual character, right?
Yeah.
But
For example, a journalist not dressing up like a journalist. Like, who would do that? Definitely not
I
me.
mean, journalists can wear anything. They just have to have glasses, and you've got them.
I've got the glasses. There we go. I don't have a microphone though. I should work that into the next one. I do have the earpiece.
You have an inner ear mic.
Yeah.
No one can see it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We're sorted.
No, it's the one that's taped onto like your chest under your shirt, right?
Yeah. You can't you just can't see it underneath the scarf. Like it's you just can't see it. We've got the lapel mic going. Like, how is it for you to have like you've spoken a lot about like art as like, you know, a career and like commercializing it and being able to sell things. I say this while playing with your charm that you lovingly gave me at a convention one year. How is it to have your hobby be so commercialized, and how have you managed to not insanely burn out?
I think. Okay, I'm only speaking for myself. Okay, so I don't want this to be taken like, in any other way, but I think like remaining thankful helps stopping me from burnout. And when I was saying it, like I don't want it to be taken any other way. I don't want to be making it seem like if you burn out, that means you're not thankful, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mean it like that, but for me, it's like sometimes when I feel kind of like tired or like I want to complain about doing art as a hobby, I always think how grateful I am to even have this opportunity. You know, like back when I was younger, I never even imagined that I could become an artist because, you know, like all of your parents and stuff, they're like, oh, you never do artists, you're gonna be a starving artist and all of that. Society is like, oh, like artists are always struggling, you're never gonna make money, it's oversaturated.
Anime is never gonna be big.
It's never gonna be big. But yeah, just remembering how lucky I am to even have this opportunity keeps me going, because I don't want it to be like in 5 years when, I don't know, let's just say I end up becoming super irrelevant and then I have to go back to the day job that I had before, which I didn't hate, but like I love being an artist so much right now. So I just always think, you know, I want to make the most of this now. And I actually have it really good. And people are always so nice to me and my art. And yeah, I mean, of course there's times that I do get burnt, like quote unquote burnt out or whatever. But like in those times, I also remember that like it's important to kind of consume art as well, because I think a lot of the times when, okay, this is my theory, okay, my headcanon with the burnout.
Okay.
In relation to art specifically, right? Is like you're creating so much that you have nothing left to give. Like you run out of ingredients, kind of thing. And then so I like to kind of take inspiration. Maybe like it's just like me looking at other people's art and saying, wow, that shit looks so amazing. Or it's like me watching a movie or like a different, I don't know, anime and stuff, just to get inspiration, to get like ingredients. And then, or even like one thing that really gives me inspiration is like looking at different pose references. And then I can like imagine different, like, I don't know, my character in different like settings and stuff like that. So it's just like in my mind, I'm like, oh, getting more ingredients, and then I can go back to work with these ingredients. And so sometimes if I get burnt out, I look at, you know, other emo artists' work and get inspired. I'm like, damn, that shit looks good. I have to keep up with them, kind of thing. So yeah, that kind of helped me with burnout. Yeah.
I've got two very short, punchy questions to kind of wrap this all up. First of all, you've been mentioning like you've done a ton of emotes, and you have done emotes for some very big VTubers. Can you pick a favorite?
A favorite, as in like a favorite set, or like one of my favorite people to work with?
Interpret the question how you will.
I think I would probably have to say Amelie / Monarch. Like, I think it was because I was still kind of in the beginning stages of getting commissions and stuff back then when she first commissioned me. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional, man. And like, you know, for her to have trusted me at that time, and like even now she still commissions me for stuff. Like for her to have trusted me, even though I was just like, you know, I'm just a little guy, that's like really, that was really important to me at the time. And like even looking through all of the emotes I've done for her, I can see kind of the improvement that has happened. So yeah, I'm like just like really grateful that she gave me that opportunity as like a small fry, you know.
Yeah,
I was just a small fry, she's a big fish, and she helped me along, you know. So I'm very grateful for her.
Yeah,
and she's super easy to work with. She's very nice.
And I guess the second question, because this is Oztober and I'm interviewing a bunch of Aussie VTubers right now, I have to ask the very obvious question of, do you draw with your canvas upside down?
Yes. I'm also hanging off the wall like a bat, and I don't know, I draw with my mouth as well. Yes.
Yeah. People really don't appreciate the amount of editing that I have to do for these like episodes, where I have to constantly be flipping things vertically, making sure that, you know, like reinstating gravity into the situation.
Yeah. It's so annoying because I have to like flip all of my OBS scenes as well.
Oh god. Yeah, you would know the pain. So
I get you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
also you have to like flip the audio for this as well, because we're talking backwards right now.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's a completely, Australian English is a completely gibberish language until you know, translate it through a mixer. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Look, just a funny little silly one to end on, Twee. To a very nice heartfelt story, and I really appreciate you coming on to Behind the Model and sharing all the insights of your wonderful art career. Twee is the latest guest on my series Behind the Model, diving into the stars who make VTubing the creative medium we love. If you're interested in more of Twee's story, you can read the accompanying article linked in the description. You can also find all of her social media channels below. Really appreciate it if you liked this video, to go down there and like as well, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment as well with any feedback. I read it all. Until next time, thank you.